Let me start this discussion by showing you a picture. This man, titled Feel It Motherfuckers. It is a work of modern art that consists of the only item left in the artist's lover's estate after his family had come following his death from AIDS and cleared out everything in the apartment, except this one fan, which he then encased in plexiglass. And you can see, put his lover's name down on the bottom, said the only unclaimed item from that estate. What I want to talk about today is why that happened, how that connects to the battle for gay marriage, and what it says about what marriage means to the United States of America. This happened because before you were allowed to be married, most people's lovers were considered strangers. You could try to put together a will, but then you had to go through probate and hope that the will wasn't challenged, because most people did have impaired cognitive ability at some point and often wouldn't think about doing a will until then. That's because what a will does and what a marriage does are fundamentally different. The harsh truth in the United States of America is that you're not allowed, for the most part, to choose who is your family. There are only two actions you can take to change who your family is. The first is marriage, and the second is adoption. Now, you can make an argument about divorce or, in some cases, um, emancipated youth being ways to exclude people from family. But this is kind of more about family building, because I find that a more interesting and difficult challenge. How do you make somebody family? And like, if you're part of the queer community, you understand that like you make somebody family by showing up, by being there, by taking that role in someone's life. You make family by consent. However, for the most part, the United States doesn't see it that way. Which leads to the question of like, wait, what? Where is this list of who the state considers my family? Well, that's in a thing called intestate succession. And that happens, well, that's basically the list of who the state thinks should inherit if you don't leave a will. It's also a handy guide to who the state thinks your family is. And I'll be honest with you, it's all family of origin all the way down, with two exceptions: marriage and adoption. Adoption just blows up your entire family tree for the most part. There's some exceptions. I wouldn't be a lawyer if I didn't keep telling you there were some exceptions, would I? And replaces it with the family tree of the person that adopted you. So you become unrelated to everybody in your existing family and related to everyone in your new family all at once. Sometimes that's a good thing. However, marriage is unique in that it's, well, okay. It has become clear to me that we tend to get kind of caught up in the hearts and flowers stuff with marriage. I think for the purposes of queer community, we should talk about marriage, at least in a legal sense, as a way to register your next of kin with the state. It comes with other complications, financial amongst them, but marriage is the way to legally say, hey, this is the person that I want looking after me if I'm not here. So, marriage puts that one person in front of everyone else in terms of intestate succession. It lets you pick that one person as your family. I do wills. I do durable powers of attorney for medical care. These are really important, powerful documents, but they're documents. And if they fail, what happens is intestate succession. This is why most of the queer lawyers I know are married. If there's somebody in your life that you want to protect, making them legally family is the easiest and strongest way to protect them. I realized that we hadn't had this conversation in the same way with queer youth. Like, they saw gay marriage got legalized and they thought, oh, gay weddings got legalized. And like, you know, a party is a party. No shade on anyone who wants the party. But I don't think we've done a good enough job of pinpointing exactly how powerful a legal benefit the ability to name who your family member is can be. Now, I want to be upfront here. I think that there should be a mechanism for the recognition of chosen family that is broader. I think you should get to pick who your family is and unselect people as well. But that's just not the reality. And it's a deep, ironic, hurtful reality in a nation that talks a lot about freedom and the ability to make your own choices, that really we're only given this one narrow opening through which we can make a choice about something as close to you as who your family is. However, not telling you that that's the reality isn't meant to invalidate who you consider your family. It's meant to give you the information that you need to protect them from the workings of the state. I think in many cases, gay people should be thinking not just about romantic relationships for who might be the person they marry. It might make a lot of sense for a lot of queers to marry somebody with whom they have no romantic entanglement, but whom they want as next of kin. And thinking about that is important. I just realized I can ramble on for quite a while here, and I'm probably at the tolerance for what anyone has for my lackluster presentation and video skills. So I'm going to pretty much stop there talking about substantive stuff. And now I'm going to go through a couple of things, a quick credential check. I am a lawyer. I am licensed in Washington State. You can tell I'm licensed because if you go to the State Bar website, you can look me up. Let me just show you what that looks like real quick. Here we go. If you're ever wondering if somebody's a lawyer, this is how you can find out. Yes, I have just docked myself to you. That's what happens when you're a lawyer. You agree to have this information public. But I want you to know how to find out whether somebody is in fact a lawyer. Here it is. This is your proof that I'm a lawyer. And the second thing that I want to give you is a quick perspective check. I'm not going to pretend that I was affected by the AIDS crisis directly. I am a happily married bisexual woman who has lost a spouse and is now happily married and has a kid and has property. So I have a lot of the things that marriage protects. But it has been a truism in my practice, and I work extensively with members of the queer community, that the more marginalized and tender something is, the more you want to make it look to the state like something that's mainstream and ideally what rich privileged people do, because those are the avenues that you know are going to be protected. This kind of camouflage of privilege is really powerful if you can make it work. And gay marriage wasn't about weddings, it was about giving something as tender as queer partnership that camouflage of privilege and validation before the state as family. Um, and that's why you see older queers being just so hurt that younger queers don't understand that. But as an older queer in law, I have to say, hey, whose fault is it that younger queers don't understand it? Which is why I'm here today, not waiting to feel cute to make a video about why marriage matters even now. There's just almost no other way to make somebody family in a way that the state understands. Thank you.